It has been so long. So if you can't see from looking through the window here, this is what is left of all the storms. We had three. One was an ice storm where I got like literally a 6-inch block of ice. Another one was a snowstorm that added about 3 inches of snow on top of it. And then, like an RKO out of nowhere, we got 6 more inches on top of it the other day. So, first and foremost, to those who do not know, the whole shtick here is it's the perpetual car ride. You know, we get in here, we talk about stuff, we do the things, we jam out to some music, but when it's ugly like it was, you don't joyride when it's ugly like that. We don't do that. So, yeah, we were away for quite a while, but we're back now. And ironically, we come back on the tail end of what I am calling the most dominant butt whooping I have ever seen in a Super Bowl. And I'm old enough to remember the '85 Bears. They were dominant. Those Seahawks, that was ugly. This is the first Super Bowl in a while where this was an old-fashioned whooping. If this was I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking this. If this was a wrestling setup, then this was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Both of them. And, okay, to all the people who don't know the wrestling nerdism, John Cena is, like, 17-time world champion. He holds a record over Ric Flair, blah, blah, yakety schmackety. But Brock Lesnar has had 2 matches versus John Cena where it was just, this is where Suplex City came from. Just suplex, 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 suplex. To the point where John Cena was just like dizzy. This was the Super Bowl. It was the Seattle Seahawks defense as Brock Lesnar. And you could argue the Seahawks running game as part of that Brock Lesnar. And the New England Patriots were John Cena. And just like in the Cena-Lesnar matches, the Patriots had a spurt. One, where they got those 2 pass plays down the sideline, scored a touchdown, and it looked like, all they have to do was kind of kick it into gear, and then, no, Suplex City. It was ugly. And I'm the guy, as a baseball fanatic, I'm the guy who loves the 1-0 game. As much as I dislike the Braves, I loved watching the Braves pitch in the 90s because you weren't scoring. They went in there, they threw strikes, they changed speeds, that was it. And it made the defense better. I like defense. So for my own personal interest, that Super Bowl, the first half, was really good because it was just defense. Even the Patriots defense was just knocking them off the block. But that running game, in that Seattle defense, I think if you watched it, you saw where there were moments where the Patriots players were just like, you can't do it. And it can't do it. Mike Vrabel had to become the parent who says, you can do it, Jimmy. But you couldn't do it, Jimmy. So, look, I'm a Packers fan. We tend not to have those types of defenses. I'm a Packers fan. We tend not to have those types of running games. That was dominant. That was super dominant. And like I said, there is no conspiracy. That Seattle team against the Patriots, it was Brock Lesnar, John Cena. And I enjoyed every second of it. Full disclosure, I thought the Patriots were going to win. Everyone's laughing, right? I thought the Patriots were going to win. Why? because Mike Vrabel, to me, was part of that Patriots. Well, he was part of that Patriots dynasty with Tom Brady. I just figured he knew how to do it. No, no, it was so bad. It was so bad, and it makes you wonder how weak was the AFC. How bad is Josh Allen? How bad is Josh Allen? Listen, no Lamar Jackson, no Kansas City Chiefs, no Andy Reid, and Josh Allen still could not make it. And I know it's not just the quarterback. I know this. But that's how we play this, right? The MVP seems to always go to the quarterback. Oh, and speaking of MVPs, that cornerback for the Patriots, if I forget his name, I think his number is 0. If this young man did not play the way he played, it would have been Bears Patriots. It would have been 85. This kid stopped it from being a blowout early. And I know that Chris Collinsworth did acknowledge that, but as observers, as fans, in the midst of that dominance, I sound white because I'm from Central Maryland originally. Both my parents are teachers before teachers became educators. That's how I sound this way. I had a father who was from the panhandle of Florida, southern Georgia, and he talked like it. And he was insistent. Mr. Tucker, how are you? He was insistent that I did not sound like those other folks. So yeah, that's how I sound this way. But yeah, see, I liked the Super Bowl. I really did. I liked the Smash Mouth. I really did. I thought it was a good game until it got out of hand. And the only reason it got out of hand was because, New England couldn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball. And like I said, we've talked about everyone that said Josh Allen. That Buffalo team would not have stood him. That would have been uglier. Because Josh Allen's not that good. I said that. Hey, they did it, man. Zero questions to be answered. The Seattle Seahawks went in there. Okay, so one day I got to find a way to put this together. Way back when I thought I was going to be a rock star, I wrote a song called Bottom of Their Shoe. That song applies to the Patriots. They were on the bottom of the Seahawks shoe. But let's backtrack. When we say the Super Bowl sucked, I thought it was going to suck because the first thing I saw was Green Day. If you do not know by now, I loathe Green Day. I loathe the whole concept of anyone who thinks they are punk. They are not punk. They're not. They have one or two songs that are listenable, but Green Day is absolute horse manure without the fertilizing qualities. I don't like Green Day. Who was that? The four black kids that have that kind of pop punk band, the Why You Do Me Like That, those kids. And I saw them with Green Day. I was done with them. No, I just do not. It's not political. It's musical. I think they are trash. There we go. So when I saw Green Day at the Super Bowl, I was like, stellar. All right, I muted it. When I saw that first drive, and there was a field goal for the Seahawks, Patriots 3 and out, and then it was just that kind of back and forth. I was invested. Look, I'm a Big Ten guy, only because Penn State, but even before Penn State was in the Big Ten, Penn State, what was it, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? That's my kind of football. I would assume a lot of old school Bears fans would be in that same camp. That game, the first half was good. The second half, it just got away from the Patriots. Well, it was away from them in the first half, but the second half, they just could not hold on. It was over. But yes, yeah, it sucked. Green Day gives me, green movements. It's just, no, I can't do it. But So far as results, how we always had first of all, it was nice not to see Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about Taylor Swift one of these days, because let's start the hatred, right? I am here to tell people Taylor Swift cannot sing to save her life, but as the woman is magical. As a songwriter, I don't have any Taylor Swift albums, but I know about 50 Taylor Swift songs, and all of them have some level of meaning to them, even though I think she's kind of nutsoid in the head, which is why her relationship to the tabloid type of stuff that we see. But horrible singer, excellent writer, and I have contemplated bringing her in, but it's like I'm not even ready for that level of hatred. But that would be an interesting thing. If we want to dive into Taylor Swift on one of these rides, you got to let me know, because I'm okay with that. The music, not the woman, because the individual, I mean, just everything's rumor. I don't know anybody personally. We don't know anybody personally, but you know how it goes. It's like, well, I heard this, that, and the other, and this, but yeah, Taylor Swift is an excellent songwriter. But we've gone from the Super Bowl, hey everyone, hey, Miss Brandy, how are you? And I always say Miss and Mr. because it's just how I was raised, and I know on the internet we never truly know who somebody is. So if I'm wrong, please do not. We've had conversations. Hey, how are you? But you know, the internet is tough because we don't truly know gender, and people are sensitive about things and all that. So I instinctively do the Miss and Mr. and all that stuff. If that bothers you, I apologize in advance. And it's habit. It's habit. It's how my parents made me. But I'm just glad to be back, folks. It's Monday. We had a 2-hour school delay, so I'm behind on everything. How am I? I am going to alleviate all the cabin fever, even though the day's not going to go the way I wanted to because of the 2-hour school delay. But at least I get to look at, and when I turn this corner, I hope I've talked before about just driving and the scenery, and it's just, look at this. Look at this. I mean, I left the house and I was a wreck because I'm the person that when I'm not happy, I have what I call a shotgun temper. Just everybody gets it. And that's not good. I know that's not good. And thank you. It was the worst flu ever. But it's something about this. And I grew up in Central Maryland, like right between Baltimore and Annapolis. So I know miserable people. And I spent a large majority of my adult life in South Central PA, York County and stuff. Spent a little bit of time in North Carolina. Will never do that again. But out here, even when I'm late and I'm hustling, I mean, you got nothing to do but put it in cruise control and stay safe, right? I mean, right now, I am literally driving to work, and you all are my passengers, and we're talking about things. But you look around, and it's so wide open. And I know I'm going to get to the office, and I'm going to be pulling my hair out because I got to do this, that, and the other. But right here and right now, it doesn't get much more peaceful than this. You know, they say West by God, Virginia. I get it. It makes you feel small in the best of ways. Does that make sense to anybody? It really makes you feel small in the best of ways. It's okay to be this tiny man in the midst of all of this. It really is. I don't know. Of course, it's not okay if some big brown bear comes out of the woodwork. No. SoCal. Look, I've never been to California. Never been. But and I had a conversation with somebody about this yesterday. I'm a Northeast kid. I need to have that moment where the heat goes away. I can't have 95 and 95, or you don't really have the humidity out in Cali, but it's warmer. I need to have this misery. I need Elsa to get upset with me once in a while. I need that because all that heat's got to wash away. If you ever been to Baltimore, right up under the Rusty Scupper, there is a the one reason I would want to go to California for sure is I believe that on the right day with the proper rest, I could hit one out of the Giants ballpark from the left side. I think I could hit one out. And I think I could hit one into the bay. I'm 52. I think I could get 2 or 3 swings if I got the right pitch. I think I could torque one out. That's it. That's why I want to go to California. Yeah, I'm the guy that sits there and watches the major league games. It's like, come on, man, it was right there. Just put it in play. Because it's easy. But oh my goodness, yeah, I am just glad to be back. And I've heard there's a huge difference between Northern Cali, Southern Cali. I'm about to go through a tunnel. Sometimes this bothers the signal, sometimes it doesn't. So I got to get off on the speed a little bit because it's 55 in the tunnel, not 70. Anything about the legends, if you don't find a tunnel, then you haven't driven far enough. But yeah, I am not a fan of that thing. Oh, that's what I was babbling about. So if you know Baltimore, in the Inner Harbor there is a restaurant called the Rusty Scupper. Just underneath the Rusty Scupper is a marina. It's a floating dock marina, simply called the Inner Harbor Marina. That was my very first job, age 13 years old, running up and down those docks, tying down boats for $3 an hour. I hated that job, but I couldn't quit because, yeah, my dad, no, you don't quit. But I couldn't stand it. 7 o'clock in the morning, it's already 90 degrees and it's 90% humidity. No, because there's nothing you can do when it's that hot. When it's cold, you can put on 700 layers. You at least have that option. There's Long Beach is nasty. I don't know anything about Long Beach except for like Snoop Dogg and Long Beach State. One day I'll take the Long Beach State. Well, I played in one game when I was at Coppin State at this point, Long Beach State, and they drugged us. It was one of those games where no matter how much you love a sport, you're like, I don't belong here. Hello, Grandpa. I'm good with that. I'm not grandpa yet. Not grandpa yet. My oldest is 26 and I'm not ready. Near Russian River, near the vineyards. So you mentioned South Africa. This is going a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm good with that. So the only thing I know about South Africa is Ernie Els, and apparently the world hated South Africa during apartheid, and also crime in South Africa. That's all I know, and this is all 70. Yeah, 98 Rock. And Kirk Mark and Lopez, if you know 98 Rock. So Kirk, his name is Chris McEwen. He was in my mother taught at Old Mill High School. He was in, Steve, I'll see you. But he was in my mother's class in high school. And he worked for my father at Fort Smith when he was 98 Rock and WHFS was my go-to. I did not know that. Like I said, I knew him, but I didn't know him. You know, my parents know him. He was at my dad's funeral because he has that voice like this, like Froggy from the Little Rascals, and he didn't even smoke. But yeah, he's good people, and I'll have to look that up. I did not know. Like I said, I was a kid, and and even when he came to my dad's funeral, he came because at the time I was still with Skeleton Crew at the time. So this is before we played the zoo or any of those places. And he comes to my dad's funeral, and he comes up to me, and I don't know, I don't know if he recognized me, knew me, or someone said, yeah, that's his son. Well, I don't know, but he comes up to me and he starts, hey, just wanted to let you know, I feel for your, all the things you say when you're at a funeral. And I was like, thank you, and all that stuff. And then he kind of tells me who he is, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And it was funny because I favored HFS over 98 Rock at the time, so that could have been kind of awkward. But he actually told me, he said, you ever want to get your band some play? He said, send me a demo and I'll see what I can do. And we weren't very good. We weren't very good. But yeah, like I said, it's DT. Good morning. How are you? And I'm glad you're on here because I'm glad you got that your hearing went the way it went, and that you got it the way you needed it, because like I said, so many things are so stressful. There's so many things that it's tough. It's tough. And so yeah, when we get good things in life, we have to take the time to acknowledge and, dare I say, celebrate it. Because even a simple good thing is a good thing. I mean, we have enough bad things that go on that we have no choice but to face. Those good things, yeah, we should acknowledge them. So, but yeah, I'm glad to be out. And I haven't done anything for 4 days. And it's funny, when you're doing this, you inevitably look at how many months, as opposed to just talking to the invisibility. And yeah, every now and then someone says, yeah, I know, I'm in the Appalachians, but I'm going to cut this anyway because I'm about maybe 10 minutes from the office. I need to start getting my head right and being ready to get it done today, because I'm on the road. I got the enthusiasm. I'm feeling good. No more flu. Hopefully everyone out there is feeling good too. Happy Monday. And yeah, we'll see if we can rock on a little bit later. It's been too long. Now's the time where the awkward finger goes across so I can hit the X.